Hi everyone, this is Ruchi Kulkarni. Today we'll do chapter The Last Leaf from Class 9 book Moments, and this chapter is written by O. Henry. The Last Leaf is a touching story of how a painter inspires a girl to live and in the process loses his life. It has the power to heal the human spirit. The Last Leaf also depicts the value of art as it saves a precious young life. Although the artist sacrifices his own life in the process, his masterpiece immortalizes him. The story is based on the theme that life is precious and faith and hope should never be lost. Let's read this wonderful, emotional, and interesting story and also understand it. After which, I will do the significance of the title, the moral of the story, and as usual, the question answers. But before we begin, let's know something about O. Henry first. William Sidney Porter, better known by his pen name O. Henry, was born on 11 September 1862 in North Carolina, US. He was an American short story writer. His stories are known for their surprise endings and witty narration. Porter also wrote poetry and non-fiction. His works include The Gift of the Maggie, The Duplicacy of Hargraves, The Ransom of Red Chief, and many more. The O. Henry Award is a prestigious annual prize named after Porter and given to outstanding short stories. He died on 5th June 1910 in New York City, US, at the age of 47. It is autumn, the wind is blowing hard, and it is raining heavily. All the leaves on an ivy creeper have fallen except one. Why doesn't the last leaf fall? Ivy creeper is a plant species of flowering vine in the grape family. This chapter or this story is a very emotional one which is based on the last leaf of that creeper. This last leaf had given a great amount of hope to a girl named Johnsy who was seriously ill. Let's see why that last leaf didn't fall. Let's read the story and enjoy. Sue and Johnsy, two young artists, shared a small flat. The flat was on the third story of an old house. Johnsy fell very seriously ill in November. She had pneumonia. Pneumonia is an infection in which one or both lungs may be filled with some kind of fluid or pus. She would lie in her bed without moving, just gazing out of the window. Gazing means looking. Sue, her friend, became very worried. She sent for the doctor. Sent for means called. Although he came every day, there was no change in Johnsy's condition. One day the doctor took Sue aside and asked her, "Is anything worrying Johnsy?" "No," replied Sue. "But why do you ask?" The doctor said, "Johnsy, it seems, has made up her mind that she is not going to get well. If she doesn't want to live, medicines will not help her." Sue tried her best to make Johnsy take an interest in things around her. She talked about clothes and fashions, but Johnsy did not respond. Johnsy continued to lie still on her bed. Sue brought her drawing board into Johnsy's room and started painting. To take Johnsy's mind off her illness, she whistled while working. The story is about two friends, Sue and Johnsy. Both were young artists or painters and they shared a small flat. This flat was on the third story of an old house. It was autumn season and in the month of November, Johnsy fell seriously ill. She was infected with pneumonia. She would all the day lie in her bed. She will not move, but she will keep on looking out of the window. She wasn't getting well. So Sue became very worried. She called the doctor. The doctor came and saw Johnsy's condition every day. But one day, he asked Sue if there was anything which was worrying her. Because despite giving her medicines and so much of care, Johnsy wasn't recovering. Sue tried her best to make Johnsy take interest in many things around her, especially clothes or fashion, but Johnsy did not respond. So Johnsy continued to be sad and depressed, lying on the bed. Sue even brought her drawing board into Johnsy's room so that Johnsy would take some interest in painting, but she did not move. Nothing was working there. Suddenly, Sue heard Johnsy whisper something. She quickly rushed to the bed and heard Johnsy counting backwards. She was looking out of the window and was saying, 12. After some time, she whispered, 11, then 10, then 9, 8, 7. Sue anxiously looked out of the window. She saw an old ivy creeper climbing halfway up to the brick wall opposite their window. In the strong wind outside, the creeper was shedding its leaves. What is it, dear? Sue asked. 6, whispered Johnsy. They are falling faster now. 3 days ago, they were almost 100 leaves. There are only 5 left now. It is autumn, said Sue, and the leaves will fall. When the last leaf falls, I will die, said Johnsy with finality. I have known this for the last 3 days. Oh, that's nonsense, replied Sue. What have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? The doctor is confident that you will get better. Johnsy did not say anything. Sue went and brought her a bowl of soup. I don't want any soup, said Johnsy. I'm not hungry. Now there are only 4 leaves left. I want to see the last one fall before it gets dark. Then I'll sleep forever. When Sue was painting in the room, she heard Johnsy whisper something. She rushed towards Johnsy. Johnsy was counting something. She was counting the number of leaves on an ivy creeper which had climbed halfway the brick wall just opposite to their window. There was storm outside, there were strong winds outside, and this creeper was shedding its leaves. When Sue asked Johnsy what was she doing, Johnsy told that there are 6 leaves now. There were hundreds a few days back, but now it is shedding leaves. And when it will shed its last leaf, then she will die. Hearing Johnsy's answer, Sue was very worried. She tried to convince her that that creeper has got nothing to do with her medical condition and she'll get better soon. But Johnsy was not in the state of mind to be convinced. She did not have the bowl of soup because she wanted to see the last leaf fall. There were only 4 leaves left, and she thought that when the last leaf will fall, she will also go to sleep forever. That is, she will also die. Sue sat on Johnsy's bed, kissed her, and said, You are not going to die. I can't draw the curtain for I need the light. I want to finish the painting and get some money for us. Please, my dear friend, she begged Johnsy, promise not to look out of the window while I paint. All right, said Johnsy. Finish your painting soon, for I want to see the last leaf fall. I am tired of waiting. I have to die, so let me go away peacefully like one of those poor, tired leaves. Try to sleep, said Sue. I have to paint an old miner. I will call Behrman up to be my model. She rushed down. Behrman lived on the ground floor. He was a 60-year-old painter. His lifelong dream was to paint a masterpiece, but that had remained a dream. She poured out her worries to Behrman. She told him how Johnsy was convinced and she would die when the last leaf fell. On hearing Johnsy's words, Sue tried to convince Johnsy that this wasn't true. She couldn't draw the curtain because she was painting. But she told Johnsy to sleep and to promise her that she will not look out of the window and have such negative thoughts. Johnsy promised her, but she told her to finish her painting as soon as possible because she was tired of waiting and she wanted to die peacefully. Sue then told Johnsy that she is going to call Behrman. Mr. Behrman was an old person. He was 60-year-old. He was a painter and he lived on the ground floor of the same building. His lifelong dream was to paint a masterpiece, but that remained a dream. It was never fulfilled. So Sue went to Behrman and told him about her worries. She told him how Johnsy was convinced that she wanted to die when the last leaf will fall. Is she stupid? Asked Behrman. How can she be so foolish? She is running a high temperature, complained Sue. She refuses to eat or drink, and that worries me a lot. I will come with you and see Johnsy, Behrman said. They tiptoed into the room. Tiptoed means walked on toes so as not to make noise. Johnsy was sleeping. Sue drew the curtains together and they went to the next room. She peeped out through the window. There was only one leaf on the creeper. It was raining heavily and an icy cold wind was blowing. It seemed as though the leaf would fall any minute now. Behrman did not say a word. He went back to his room. Johnsy woke up next morning. In a feeble voice, she asked, Feeble means low or weak. Sue to draw the curtains. Sue was nervous. She drew back the curtains very reluctantly. Reluctantly means unwillingly. When Sue told Behrman what Johnsy thought, Behrman first thought that she was being very stupid or foolish. But Sue told him that she was running high temperature, she refused to eat or drink anything, and that worried her a lot. Behrman went to see Johnsy. When they went, Johnsy was sleeping. So Sue drew the curtains, that is, closed the curtains, and went to the next room. From there, when she peeped out through the window, she saw that only one leaf was on the creeper, that is, the last leaf. And it was raining very heavily. The cold wind was blowing throughout, and it seemed as though that last leaf will fall any minute. Behrman did not speak a word. He went back to his room. The next morning when Johnsy woke up, she told Sue to open the curtains, to draw the curtains, and Sue did it nervously. She did not want to do it because she knew that the last leaf must have fallen, but she had to do it hesitantly. Oh, Sue exclaimed as she looked at the vine creeper. Look, there is still one leaf on the creeper. It looks quite green and healthy. In spite of the storm and the fierce winds, it didn't fall. Fierce means violent. I heard the wind last night, said Johnsy. I thought it would have fallen. It'll surely fall today, then I'll die. You won't die, said Sue energetically. You have to live for your friends. What would happen to me if you die? Johnsy smiled weakly and closed her eyes. After every hour or so, she would look out of the window and find the leaf still there. It seemed to be clinging to the creeper. Clinging means holding on. In the evening, there was another storm, but the leaf did not fall. Johnsy lay for a long time looking at the leaf. Then she called out to Sue. When Sue drew the curtains, she was astonished, surprised, to look at that last leaf on the creeper. That leaf looked very green and healthy, and despite the storm or the violent winds which had happened last night, that leaf hadn't fallen. Johnsy had heard the wind last night, and she was sure that it would have fallen by now, or it'll fall very soon, and she will die. But Sue told her that she has to live for her friends. Johnsy smiled weakly and she closed her eyes. After every hour, she used to look at that leaf. It looked as if that leaf had held on to that creeper very tightly. In the evening, there was another storm, but still that leaf did not fall. Johnsy lay for a long time looking at the leaf, and then she called Sue to her. I have been a bad girl. You've looked after me so lovingly, and I have not cooperated with you. I have been depressed and gloomy. Gloomy means sad. The last leaf has shown me how wicked I have been. I have realized that it is a sin to want to die. Sue hugged Johnsy, then she gave her lots of hot soup and a mirror. Johnsy combed her hair and smiled brightly. In the afternoon, the doctor came. After examining his patient, he told Sue, Johnsy now has the will to live. I'm confident she'll recover soon. Now I must go downstairs and see Behrman. He is also suffering from pneumonia, but I'm afraid there is no hope for him. Johnsy realized her mistake, that she had been unnecessarily very depressed and sad. She had been a bad girl because Sue did take care of her and Johnsy never cooperated. She told this to Johnsy that she was really feeling bad and it must have been a sin, a mistake of hers to believe that she wanted to die. Sue hugged Johnsy. She gave a lot of hot soup to her and Mirror, and Johnsy combed her hair nicely, neatly, and she smiled brightly. In the afternoon, when the doctor came, the doctor seemed very hopeful, and he told Sue that Johnsy has now got that willpower to live. Now she doesn't want to die, she has learned her mistake. And after that, he was supposed to go to Behrman's place because Behrman was also suffering from pneumonia and the doctor was afraid that he might die very soon. There was no hope for him to live. The next morning, Sue came and sat on Johnsy's bed. Taking Johnsy's hand in hers, she said, I have something to tell you. Mr. Behrman died of pneumonia this morning. He was ill for only 2 days. The first day, the janitor found him on his bed. Janitor is a person whose job is to look after the building. His clothes and shoes were wet and he was shivering. He had been out in that stormy night. Then they found a ladder and a lantern still lighted lying near his bed. There were also some brushes and green and yellow paints on the floor near the ladder. Johnsy dear, said Sue, look out of the window. Look at that ivy leaf. Haven't you wondered why it doesn't flutter when the wind blows? That's Behrman's masterpiece. He painted it the night the last leaf fell. Sue was happy that Johnsy was now recovering. But the next morning, Sue came to Johnsy's bed and gave her a sad news. She told that Mr. Behrman had died of pneumonia that morning. He had been ill for the past 2 days. The first day, the janitor found him on his bed when Mr. Behrman's clothes and shoes were all wet and he was shivering because he had been out on that stormy night. And then they found a ladder and a lantern. They also found some brushes, green and yellow paints on the floor near the ladder. And just then, Sue had a thought in her mind. She looked out of her window. She looked out at that ivy leaf, the last leaf which was clinging to that creeper. Then Sue asked Johnsy if she ever wondered why that leaf did not flutter or did not move whenever the wind blew. That leaf was actually a painted leaf. It wasn't an original leaf on the creeper. The last leaf had already fallen in that storm. But Mr. Behrman had gone out in the storm. He painted the leaf which just looked like the last leaf. And on that stormy night when he painted, he got wet and he suffered from pneumonia, because of which he died. So that last leaf which he painted was Behrman's masterpiece, the dream that he had dreamt all his life. So that last leaf gave so much of strength to Johnsy that it made her well, but on the other hand, it took Behrman's life. The title, The Last Leaf, implies that the most important thing about the story is the leaf. On one hand, this makes sense because it is the leaves that make Johnsy think she is going to die, and it is the last leaf, as painted by the old man, that makes her live. The last leaf came in several different meanings here, which can be death, hope, willpower, etc. The title of The Last Leaf is suitable and significant. The moral of the story, The Last Leaf by O. Henry, is that even if we have to face bad things, we should always help our loved ones. The last leaf is a story with a lot of values. It is true that a real friend is one who helps you in need. And in the story, Sue and Johnsy were good friends and artists as well. Another message given by this is that challenges do come and go, but what is tested is your patience and faith. Keep the faith alive to keep life going. That is all for now, but before I wrap up with my session, I'm going to flash the summary in written form and question answers related to this chapter. If you like my videos, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more updates. I'll come up with a new topic, a new video very soon. Till then, take good care of yourself. God bless you, and thank you very much.